things move so fast. So let's go back to the very beginning. November 8th, Hannah was flying from Maui to New York with a layover in LAX.
Okay.
And she missed her connecting flight.
Mm-hmm.
And security footage shows her actually leaving the airport instead of waiting for the next flight.
Interesting. And now the articles mentioned she was initially supposed to meet her ex-boyfriend in New York, but they had broken up after booking the flights.
Right. And he actually did make that connecting flight on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been cooperating with the investigation.
Okay, good.
But back to Hannah. So she was seen at the Grove Shopping Center on the 9th and 10th.
Okay.
And she posted on her Instagram about this Nike event that was there.
Mm-hmm.
She even popped up in a YouTube video from the event. So it seems like for those 2 days,
Yeah, she was okay.
she was okay. She was out and about.
Yeah.
Which makes what happened next even more unsettling.
Yeah, for sure.
So November 11th, Hannah's back at LAX.
Okay.
But she doesn't board her flight home to Maui.
Mm.
And this is when her family starts receiving these really strange text messages from her phone. And that's what really, I think, threw everybody off.
Yeah, the tone of them was really different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was different.
From her normal communication style.
Yeah, very different. Talk about fear, somebody trying to steal her identity.
Right.
She even mentions the Matrix. It's chilling stuff.
Yeah, the Matrix. It makes you wonder, was she really the one sending those messages, or was there somebody else, or was she being forced to? It's tough to know.
Right, we have to consider all possibilities.
Yeah.
And then silence. After those texts on the 11th, nothing.
Wow.
Her family's searching like crazy. They file missing person reports with the LAPD and the FBI, but just days go by with no solid leads.
So scary.
It's terrifying.
And then November 18th,
yeah.
surveillance footage puts her at the Pico metro station at 10 p.m.
Right, and her father, Ryan, he made that public plea for her return around this time, and
Yeah.
you can just feel his desperation in the articles. It's so sad.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tragically, we know how his search ended.
Yeah.
November 24th, Ryan was found dead. He took his own life.
Yeah.
After just tirelessly trying to find his daughter.
It's heartbreaking, and it speaks to the immense pressure and grief that the family must have been under.
Right.
And I think in the midst of all of this, we can't lose sight of the fact that Hannah is still out there. Right. Somewhere.
And we have a responsibility, I think, to keep her story alive and to keep searching for answers.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what little detail might be the key to cracking this whole thing open.
Right.
So for anybody out there listening, Hannah is 5'10", about 140 pounds. She's got brown hair and brown eyes.
Okay.
Fair skin, freckles.
Mm-hmm.
And she was last seen wearing black leggings, a tie-dye sweatshirt, and a green backpack.
Got it.
So if anybody remembers seeing her, anything at all, even if you think it's insignificant, please contact the LAPD.
Because you're right. Sometimes it is those little things that you don't think are significant that really break these cases wide open.
Yeah. One thing that keeps coming back to me are those text messages.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this sudden shift in her personality.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Sudden changes in communication style like that.
Yeah.
Especially when we see expressions of fear or paranoia, those can be huge red flags.
Yeah. So it's really crucial to analyze those messages and see if there are any clues in there.
Like, could it have been a cry for help? Like she was trying to signal something, but she couldn't directly say it.
It's possible, but I also just want to be a little cautious, about reading too much into it.
Yeah.
People react to stressful situations in different ways.
Right.
Maybe the Matrix was just a random thought or just her way of expressing like disorientation, especially after missing her flight.
Right.
It's important to remember we don't have all the information to make any conclusions.
Right, yeah.
Definitive conclusions.
But I guess it's the fact that it just stopped.
Yeah.
After those texts, like what happened in that week between when those messages were sent and then when she was spotted at the Pico metro station.
Exactly. Yeah. Where was she? Who was she with? What was she doing? These are like the million-dollar questions, right, that we just don't have answers to yet.
Right.
But, hopefully as the investigation continues, more information will come to light.
Yeah. It's just so important that we don't let this go cold.
Yeah.
Hannah's family deserves answers and Hannah deserves to come home.
Absolutely. And this is where our listeners can really come in. Sometimes the smallest piece of information can make all a difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen Hannah, if you remember anything that might be relevant to the case, no matter how small, please don't hesitate to contact the LAPD.
Yeah. It's so easy to get lost in all the details.
Yeah.
But what we can't forget is this is a real person.
Yeah.
This is a young woman who's missing.
Absolutely.
In a family that's just been shattered by this.
I think you're right. And as we conclude this, what would you do if you were in the Kobayashi family's situation?
Hmm.
How can we as individuals offer support and help when someone goes missing?
That's a really good question, and I
Yeah.
think it's a really difficult one to answer.
Yeah.
But even spreading awareness,
Mm.
sharing Hannah's story, keeping her in our thoughts,
Yes.
those things can actually make a difference.